Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Western Bulldogs versus Melbourne game, in which Melbourne absolutely smoked Western Bulldogs. And another tip right for me this round, so a really good tip in the end this one was. And yeah, just Melbourne overran Western Bulldogs, I believe. Most of the work was done in the last quarters, I believe it was 31 or so to 47, I think, at halftime. So it was a 36-10 second half score. So, and I'm pretty sure it was pretty tight to 3/4 time, and they just pulled away in the last, or might have happened in the third. But yeah, I got this tip right, and I believe I got it actually pretty well, because I think I tipped Melbourne by 35, and they won by 42 in the end. So not the worst tip there. But before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, no one actually turned up in this game. HANKS here with 99, a goal, 25 touches. That is a pretty good output. If I look at HANKS here, a midfielder though, which kind of does suck. If I go, let's just look. Were there any Melbourne irregularities? Not really, to be honest. The Paxman at 69. Wait, no. If I do round points here, this will make it better. Hoare at 82, sorry, Paxman at 80. So these two forwards, one to look at, and when the CBA percentages come out, look at that, because I don't know how they did players, and I wasn't really watching this game too much, but I don't know what their percentages were because of that, but we'll wait and see on that one. And then just looking at, they were playing Western Bulldogs. Let's click on Western Bulldogs. Was there any irregularities? Lynch, 75, so I don't really like I don't think there's much there. And then Matty Gorham, 69, is a 327 mid. We'll look at that as well. And then no one else really for Western Bulldogs that was out of the ordinary, etc. I'm also saying that because mids we obviously know score high, so I'm just looking if there was any defenders or forwards that did actually score well, and from what I saw there, it doesn't really look like it. Hoare, 22 touches, 2 goals, 282. So a return a little bit to regularity, I guess. And that's the thing with Hoare. I don't know whether she'll put up those big scores regularly enough, or whether she's relying on goal scoring, or whether she's relying on getting the non-disposal points, because 22 disposals is obviously a lot. But if we look at, let's bring it back to Melbourne, we look at Hoare, and we look here, she had 56 disposal points rather than the 63 last week. So, yeah, it's pretty much all non-disposal points that looks to be the reason why she's scoring so well in that game, 142. She was up 18 points in goals, and you see here, even free kicks, she was actually even. So, and then it was tackles and marks here. The marks, she was up 6 on the first game, and up 15 on the game just gone, and then up 20 on the tackles in terms of points, and compared to the game just gone, and 16 on the first week. So you can see there that she's gained almost 50 points of non-disposal points, it seems like, week on week, compared in that middle game compared to the outside games. So is Hoare going to be able to continue that? We'll wait and see. And I guess the thing for me is, I may not be that good at fantasy this year, but I'm more getting to know the players, etc. And you would have seen it last year for, well, you wouldn't have seen it because I wasn't on YouTube at the time, but last year, the year before, my first year of AFL Fantasy Men's, I finished, I think, almost 19,000th, because I didn't really understand how players sort of scored fantasy-wise. And then year 2, I still had a lot of learnings in itself on the best players, etc. to get, but I ended up 1,500 or so, 1,400 or something like that. So I think there's a lot of learnings with this, and I think the same will follow with the women's, is that I will get better, obviously, and I will get to know these players, etc. Like there's some people that follow it a lot more than me, and they've known the players that were out, etc. It was hard to get a gauge. It was harder to find the, I guess, actual rookies and returning players that had just had injuries for a long time, thus were underpriced. So there's that, and yeah, I guess just knowing players, and you'll find, I guess, players out a lot more, and I think there's a little bit ways to go in terms of the stats gathering for stats retention on the AFL website on the AFLW website itself. As we can see here, just with Whitford, you have no real stats from previous years. You have no real way of getting her stats from previous years, just looking here. So I think that's one thing that they can get better at, and I think they will probably in the off season hopefully develop a way that they can get all previous people on, or previous girls on a website, on the like an AFL official website itself. You got Paxman 80 here. We talked about Mackin 75, McNamara 75, Mithen 73, Zanker, Pearce, Gay, West, Purcell, Goldrick. All these girls don't really matter too much for Melbourne. I don't really see a standout for Melbourne, to be honest, except for potentially Hall when she does get those non-disposal points. Then we move over to Western Bulldogs, and obviously, yeah, they only scored 41. They actually put up a decent fantasy points score for being blown out, and only having, it looks to be here, 143 disposals is really low, so I'm surprised about that. But you have here Blackburn, 97 points, so a good outing from her. I believe we went through and said that she was a midfielder. 29 touches is pretty good. Lynch, 20 touches for a 75. Newton, Gorham, Coyne, Wilcox, Lamb. No one really doing anything outstanding. And if we look at the hit-outs here, even just the hit-outs split with Melbourne, and Edmonds had another shocker as well. Well, not necessarily a shocker, just in terms of fancy breed. She went only getting 52, which is just not good enough. And yeah, so the ruck department seems very much set on the on 2 or 3 basically at this moment in time. But that's pretty much the video. A very short one because there isn't much to, I guess, talk about. There wasn't many good scores in this game, as you can see. Only really 3 or 4 serviceable scores, whereas there's been other games where you have 3 or 4 girls go 100, which is a lot more fancy friendly than this game. And I think this game sort of highlighted what's happened this round. Is a lot of people haven't scored that well. We've seen a lot of the top players score 14, 1500. I mean, I ended up, I think, on a flat 14. Flat 1400, and with ways to get up to, I think with what I'm gonna do, I think I could probably get another 30, 40 points. I mean, if you actually look at the trades that I've made, I lost, I think, somewhere close to, let me just see, what did Swanson do? Because I think Swanson, what did Swanson score in there? 97. So I ended up actually losing 5 plus. I ended up losing 24 in the midfield, and then gaining back a lot of points in the ruck. So, I mean, it did work out in the end, me going to Schultz, but I needed to pick the right players to go for outside of Schultz this week, which kind of sucks, but I mean, I hope it will work in the long term. I mean, they were probably the right choices in the end. It just didn't work. So anyway, that is the video there, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next recording. Thanks, guys. Bye.